and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about making money on Veho. So when you work on any gig app, it is important to understand the pay model as a whole so you can make the most money on the platform as possible. However, the Veho support pages don't actually have a fully transparent system laid out for you, and, well, they're less than supportive. So with that said, I want to go over everything you must know about making money on Veho, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything we're going to be talking about in this video is market dependent as a whole, and what applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. How often will I get paid? Earnings are distributed to drivers twice a week and take 2 to 3 business days to process. Earnings for routes completed on Monday and Tuesday will be deposited into the bank accounts on Friday. Earnings for routes completed on Wednesday through Sunday will be deposited on the following Wednesday. Notifications will be sent via email when a payment is initiated. Actually speaking, that's not entirely accurate either. Yes, Monday and Tuesday will be paid on Friday. Yes, Wednesday through Sunday will be paid on the following Wednesday. But what they don't account for is package returns and payment adjustments, which are paid for separately on Thursdays, and that can take a couple days to even finalize. But that being said, they don't put that in the same payout. And of course, you're gonna get statements and emails about all of that when they are initiated. How will I receive payment? Veho partners with a safe and secure payment service called Routable, in which all payments are sent via ACH bank transfer. To ensure you are paid in a timely manner, please sign up for payments by taking the following steps. Click link in email from Routable, subject like register to be paid by Veho. Provide access to your banking details through one of 2 options: connecting your bank using your bank login credentials, adding your bank information manually by selecting add your bank account with routing and account numbers. To confirm that you've entered the correct bank account information, you'll need to check your bank statement for 2 micro deposit test amounts and enter them in this page for verification. I'm also going to leave a page in the description describing the full instructions with the screenshots on the subject. But that being said, all of that is just a simple make sure that you're the right person we're paying setup. If I add the account manually, how long does it take to verify my bank account? You should see the micro deposits appear on your bank statement within 1 to 2 business days after manually entering your account numbers. The deposits will have the name Routable on your statement. Note, no earnings will be processed until the bank account is fully verified with the micro deposits amounts. For me, it was all same day, all within the simple setup process. It wasn't, oh, I had to wait 1 to 2 business days. I'm sure they say that for protective purposes. How do I get additional support with payments? Contact support at shipveho.com if you have any questions or concerns with the following issues related to payments. Having issues registering with Routable, didn't receive email from Routable, need to switch which bank accounts your payments are sent, believe there are missing or incorrect payments. And again, that's support at shipveho.com. I haven't had any issues with that, but then again, I know that there's a possibility that there could be in the future. And that is everything they have in terms of making money on Veho. I know, it's really not that helpful. So that's why I'm going to go over income expectations. So Indeed states that most drivers average about 20-21 an hour in my area, but I feel like that's an unfair expectation to set. Because the reality is when someone thinks 20 to 21 an hour, they think hourly rate. But the reality is no one on this app is paid for their time. No one is paid for the amount of packages they deliver. Although they do have a factor, that's not how we make money. You are paid for the value of the route you claim. Now, routes have different rates for different days, time, package count, and all of that is a factor to a certain degree, but not to the degree that they let on. But on the plus side, the real value of the route can also be chalked up to how quickly you could get the route itself done. If they claim it's a 3-hour route and you get it done in 2 hours, that doesn't change the value of the route. But it also can work against you, because if that's a 3-hour route and you get it done in 4, the value of the route is really less because the return on time for the route is as malleable as your ability to get the route done. And obviously, the longer the route, the more it pays. The shortest route that I've ever seen is a half an hour for $23, and the longest was a 10-hour route for $162. Now, I do have some other side notes about making money on Veho. No earnings tab. So the tabs that they have available are My Routes, Offers, and My Account. And under My Account, you can see your metrics for your ratings, you can see your settings, you can see your occupational accident insurance, your TOC, and you can see a little friend referral code. There is no earnings tab. So you complete a route, there's no way for you to see until the statement comes in how much you're going to be making. So what I recommend is after you complete any route, you take a screenshot of the route you complete, so when the payment comes through, the prices in which they said they're going to pay you match. Now, they're not going to match completely because they do take a small cut to pay for the occupational accident insurance, but I think it's cool that they cover you in the event that you get hurt while you're working. And they are very transparent about that. Return on time. So I touched on this already, but the ROT, or return on time, is so important whenever you're working on any gig app. Sure, you've heard about return on investment. This is your return on time. Let's use those two examples that you see earlier, because I think some people heard a 10-hour route for $162. They heard that and thought, how is it that half an hour is $23? And if there's a $23 payout for a half an hour route, there are 20 half hours in a 10-hour route. That means you can make $460 just doing 20 half an hour routes, right? Wrong. The reality is the chances of you actually getting 20 half an hour routes are borderline impossible, and especially since you can only accept 2 routes a day. Now, I want you to hear me when I say that. I said you can only claim 2 routes at a time. That doesn't mean you can't claim more once you've completed those routes. That doesn't mean that if you have those routes and you completed them, that doesn't mean that you can't be assigned other routes. One of the things that I have learned about while I was doing Veho is that there are people that will request the warehouse staff to assign them a route themselves. They can actually make more money that way. Just because you can't claim it in the app, that doesn't mean you can't be given it. But we got off the beaten path there. The point of the matter is that the return on time is something you really want to maximize, because getting a $65 route that's 3 hours long doesn't seem great. But if you can get that 3-hour route done in 2 hours, or 2 and change, now it actually seems like an even better route, right? Just make sure if you do that, you're making sure that you're really capitalizing on the time you're driving, because there can be other delays outside of your control. Dollars to mile ratio. So I said this for a lot of different gig apps, but one of the things everyone has to consider when doing any kind of gig work is your dollars to mile ratio. If you're on Amazon Flex, you already know that that's already hard to determine, because you don't even know where you're going until you get there. But with Veho, you have a lot more transparency. So you could actually do a little bit of homework and see, okay, if I can make $65 on this route, but if I take this area, I'm gonna end up driving 70 miles. That doesn't make sense. Usually you want to have a 1-to-1 or even more than that. I usually recommend 2-to-1 or 150-to-1. But you can actually see, okay, how much of a route am I willing to take going to driving 30 miles out and then doing more orders. But we'll go over the exact homework that you would have to do in another video. But the point is that you gotta make sure you truly capitalize on the dollars to mile ratio. Bigger vehicle, more opportunity. There are so many people who go to Veho with cargo vans. zones. And they are actually able to take multiple routes overlapping at the same time because they have cargo vans and they can do that. If they have a bigger vehicle, they have a lot more opportunity to accept more routes because they have more space to actually deliver the routes themselves. Now, let's say you're like me, you're using a Toyota RAV4, you could get more routes, but you can't take two 9 a.m.s. You gotta take a 9 a.m. and then you gotta take 11:30 or something like that, whatever that looks like for you. But you'll have more opportunity to take more routes if you have a bigger vehicle. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else that's not too specific towards the work you're going to actually be doing that I did not cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that everybody can really make as much money as possible by making sure everyone is fully prepared to drive on the Veho platform. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!